All right, gentlemen, I'm very excited for this one. This is a video that I wanted to do for a long time. Today, we're going to discuss the 4 mistakes that successful men make that kill attraction. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what those 4 mistakes are and how you can differentiate yourself from 99% of the guys, especially if you have money. Now, even if you don't have a lot of money, this video is going to be extremely useful because you're going to make more money in the future. If you're watching my channel, you're going to make more money. If you're working on yourself, you're into self-improvement, you want to improve yourself, you're going to make it, bro. But right now, I need you to focus on this video because this video is going to solve so many problems for you. Now, there's going to be 4 gaps that we're going to cover that truly kill attraction. And it doesn't matter whether you have, 10K in your bank account, 100K, a million, 10 million, 100 million, a billion. It doesn't matter. Those are 4 mistakes. Money doesn't always equal attraction, okay? Money actually can hinder attraction in many ways, okay? So we're gonna cover so many things today. Now, most guys think that once they make money, attraction becomes automatic. Once you have that house, that villa on the palm, the Lambo, all the brands, you're wearing brands and you're going to all these fancy destinations, they think that by doing that, they will get women as a byproduct all the time. But the truth is, the richer you get, the easier it is to kill attraction in many ways. You're just going to attract the wrong girls. You're going to attract prostitutes, hookers, gold diggers, hoes, all these girls. Now, money makes life and having fun easier. I'm not against money. Of course, I want to make as much money as possible because the amount of money you have is a direct representation of the amount of value you give to the world. Now, obviously, unless you inherit that from someone or whatever, but if you're a self-made guy like I do, like most of my business friends are, we have to give value to the market in order to receive money as an exchange, right? So the more value you give, the more money you get. Like the amount of money you are able to earn is directly proportional to the size of the problems that you can solve. The bigger problems you solve, the more value you give to a market, the more you are going to get paid. Now, as I said, money makes life and having fun easier, but it doesn't make you easier to love. And I've been coaching founders and high performers for many years, and I've seen guys go from 2-3K a month to 50K a month, 100K a month, even up to, I've coached guys who were doing like 800K a month. I've had a client like that once. He was like an e-commerce owner. And some of these guys, their dating lives got worse while they were scaling before, right? Before working with me. Because you can't wire a bank transfer to your masculinity, to your presence, to how grounded you are as a man, to your level of seductiveness. Like this is something you need to work on. You can't just, solve that with money. It takes character, it takes an identity change, it takes the right frame, it takes different things, different paradigms that you need to change. And money doesn't necessarily solve that. And today I'm going to show you the 4 reasons why more success often kills attraction. And the 4 shifts that make money help your dating life instead of ruin it, right? So once you understand those 4 shifts, you will actually be able, you'll be able to use money in a way that serves your dating life instead of hindering it, right? So let's get into it. Now, I've lived the grind, scale, and travel loop. Like I've done it myself too. And I'm still doing it. I've helped clients go from dry spells to multiple options within a few days, a few weeks, without burning out, without losing focus. And what I'm sharing with you guys isn't fluff. This is what I'm sharing with millionaires, multimillionaires, guys who are super successful. And these are the same frameworks that my private clients use to date. So pay attention to this video and stay till the end. The most juicy stuff is in the end. Now, what most successful guys don't realize is that money buys you access, but it doesn't buy you attraction or magnetism. Yeah, if you have money, maybe you can buy a table at Nobu or at some fancy beach club or sushi or whatever restaurant you go to. You can book better restaurants, fly first class, stay in nicer hotels. But if your energy and your frame is off, women will feel it instantly. If you need money to attract women, women will feel it. They're going to use you as a cash cow. as an ATM machine. That's what they're going to use you for. Money upgrades logistics and environments, but not your presence. If you were stiff at 3K a month, you'll just be a stiffer version in a nicer dress, a nicer suit, whatever, at 50K a month, in a nicer car. You're still going to be stiff, bro. You're still going to be, the same guy, but it's just that, okay, maybe your car is better, maybe your house is better, maybe the restaurants you go to is better, but you're going to be the same guy. It's just going to amplify who you are. So money changes the view, but not necessarily the vibe. And that's why money doesn't fix your dating life. It just amplifies it. Money just amplifies who you are. That's really it. Yes, you can meet women, more women easily if you go to nice places. You go to Saint-Tropez in the summer. You go, I don't know, to some fancy, restaurant in Miami or whatever. Yes, you're going to find, a higher volume of hot girls, but that doesn't mean you're going to date them or have sex with them, whatever. It's just going to gives you a bit more opportunities. Yeah. But a lot of them are traps. Like a lot of them, if you're not discerning, you are going to get played. If you got the wrong frame, like you won't be able to sustain the results. Even if you get laid or you get lucky one night, you're not going to be able to actually retain these women anyway. So that's one thing. Now, there are 4 gaps that kill attraction with women. Even in successful men, even if you have a ton of money and your business is crushing, these are 4 gaps that you need to solve, okay? Number 1, the presence gap. We're going to cover that right now. Number 2, the polarity gap. Number 3, the pipeline gap. And number 4, the positioning gap. Okay, those are the 4 gaps you need to remember. So number 1, the presence gap. A lot of guys, especially if you're in business right now, you are thinking too much. Like you think while you talk, you analyze instead of connect. Women don't fall for what you say. They fall for how you make them feel. They fall for how they feel around you. So a quick fix, if you're a business guy who's a bit stiff, or maybe you're a professional who's constantly thinking, maybe you work in finance or some type of job where like in an office or you work all day and stuff like that. Like the first fix is just try to be more present, like slow down, look at her, keep the tension, add some silences, add some great eye contact. Stop trying to impress, and instead you want to just be there, be present, Meditation helps, sauna helps, gym helps. Just learning to enjoy the moment and reconnecting with your body. Like get out of your head and more into your body. That's the first thing I want to say when it comes to presence, because a lot of us, entrepreneurs, professionals, etc., we spend a horrible amount of time on our screens, on our computers, working, thinking, analyzing, thinking about failure points and how we can solve problems. But with women, you really got to be the opposite. You got to be in the moment. You got to be spontaneous. You got to be there, and the guy who controls the pace controls the room. And so a lot of guys as well, because they lack presence, okay, you can see it in their eyes, even you can see it in their body language. They're not composed. They're not grounded. They're fidgety, they're all over the place. Their eyes are just like constantly moving. Like they can't really look at a woman in the eyes and be present and just smile. They're constantly rushing, constantly on their phones. A lot of guys, they're going to fall into the woman's frame. They're going to justify themselves or try to impress the girl. They try to rush things. Like you got to slow down your tempo. You got to be composed. You got to be grounded. You got to speak from statements, not explanations. A lot of women are going to try to make you explain yourself or justify yourself, or they're going to bait you or try to make you jump into their hoops and try to make you kind of talk more, etc., to justify yourself. And you don't want to react. Okay, always act but not react. Don't fall into a woman's frame. Hold eye contact until she looks away, not as a tactic, but as a natural standard. Like you want to be grounded. There's different things. Like if someone interrupts you mid-sentence and you lose your point all of a sudden, and then you don't even know what you want to say anymore, like that means your presence is weak. Like you got to reclaim it. Finish your point like nothing happened. Be grounded. Be in command. Super important. Now, number 2 is the polarity gap. A lot of you guys, you command people in business, you command teams, you command other workers or whatever, but you comply when it comes to romance. Like most men are scared of just being too much, being too flirty, being too sexual, being too intentional. Like high status men, the guys who actually get the results with women, they only fear being forgettable. Like the biggest mistake you can do with a woman is just be predictable, bore her. Like you can do anything to a woman except boring her. So it's better to be, even like too much than be too little. It's better to try to escalate too much and make like maybe a move that's a bit risky than not taking any risk at all. Attraction happens when your conviction collides with the play. It's like tension and then release. It's like, conviction and then a bit of play, etc. It's like, it's this fine balance between being a bit aggressive, but also being, at a sweet spot of being smooth, being too agreeable and too predictable makes you appear weak. And even if you have the money, if you're too predictable, too agreeable, etc., like it's not good. Okay, if you're always pandering to her, giving her compliments, always falling into her frame, always agreeing with her, like that's not good. So instead, you want to be the leader. Give direction, yes. Like, for example, when you plan a date, you can say, hey, let's grab a drink there. I know this cool place. You'll like it. Let's go. And you're like intentional and you're a leader. But at the same time, you also want to show that, you can tease the girl. You can also, make fun of her or stuff like that. I like to tell women like, oh, you look like trouble, or, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea, you and I, or, oh, I don't know if we're going to get along. Like, I always like to give this perception to women that I'm not sold yet, that they need to kind of prove themselves more so that they can be part of my circle, be part of my life, and I never give, this constant rush of validation. I never do that. Even when with my texting, I don't text girls all the time. If I'm dating a girl, I text her once every week or two, So yeah, all these things, man. Like, here's the golden rule. Every minute you spend trying to be safe, you kill polarity. Polarity is the paradox between masculine direction and feminine spontaneity. And you want to have that masculine direction, like, yeah, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, let's, eat this, eat that. Like, you want to make basically the decisions for her and avoid decision fatigue for her. But at the same time, you want to be spontaneous. You want to, if you want to escalate in that moment and you feel like it's the right time to kiss her, just fucking kiss her. If you want to touch her hand spontaneously, just touch her hand, touch her shoulders, initiate moves, say things that could offend her. Like, when you risk offending a girl, that's when you start winning her. Okay? If you don't risk losing her, you already lost her. Okay? So you want to be the guy who is able to take social risks. So don't lose that tension. Okay? The moment the tension goes flat, no matter how rich or charming you are, that's the moment she starts kind of losing attraction or you become too predictable. Now, obviously, it's not always going to be like super high tension. You're going to have moments of comfort and familiarity, but you don't want to have too much of that. Okay, that's very important. So how to apply this? Lead with conviction. Yes. Like, for example, you say, hey, we're grabbing a drink here. You'll like it. Direction creates safety. Hesitation kills it. Remember that. But also flirt through contrast. Give her a compliment and then kind of strip her of that validation again. Or say something nice and then something a bit more like less nice, like push-pull, traditional push-pull type of thing. And say what you actually think, like play with it, For example, you can even tell a girl like, oh, you look like trouble. Like you look like the type of girl who causes problems, like, but I'll risk it. And it's not the word. It's not necessarily about what you say. It's the frame behind what you're saying. It's the tone. It's like this careless vibe. Like, I don't care of your reaction. No matter what I say, I don't care about what you're going to think because I just say whatever I want. And that's this frame that you need to have. Okay, so touch with intent, not permission. Touch, make her feel comfortable, and don't flinch. Even if she's not receptive, then that's fine. Stay relaxed and try again later, but never flinch, never try to overtly justify yourself or stuff like that. Now, the third point is very, very, very important, is the pipeline gap. So you want to stay in flow without chasing. You don't need 100 girls to talk to, but you need a few to feel abundance. Like you need consistent flow of women. Because especially in the beginning, like if you're not in abundance yet, like if you are getting less than 2-3 dates a month as a professional, as a business owner, as a single guy, then you're at the limit of scarcity. Okay, if you're getting 1 date a month or less, you're in total scarcity. You need momentum. When you have options, your energy changes. Like you stop performing and you start choosing. You become the chooser. Now, here's how to apply this. You want to aim for at least 2 to 3 new conversations a day, online or offline, both. Like 2 to 3 new conversations a day minimum as a baseline. You should do more. If you're a beginner, you should do more because that's how you build a skill set. But then with those 1 or 2 conversations a day, try to get 1 or 2 first dates per week. And I think that's kind of the max, maybe 3 max, like quality over chaos. If you have too many dates, too many leads, that's also distracting. Okay, so that's important. Now, I covered in other videos, check out my last video about dating funnels, etc. I talked about how to get those dates, like kind of the overview. Obviously, I didn't cover every single system because that's what we cover in my program. We go deep into how to actually do that, how to actually approach women, how to actually set up your Instagram a certain way and how to text the girls a certain way, how to build your social circle, how to filter women, how to retain women, all of that. And we go super deep inside the Data Accelerator. Like this is the deepest, most cutting edge program, most comprehensive program you're ever going to take. If you join my Data Accelerator program, you will know exactly for the rest of your life how to get 1 to 3 dates a week without just chasing constantly and swiping constantly and just like fucking becoming like a pickup artist. Okay. So yeah, here's a rule. Like this is a rule I want to give you. Never go more than 72 hours without a new interaction. If you go more than 2-3 days without talking to any girl, talking to anybody, that's when you start just losing momentum and being rusty. Like I talk to women every day. When I go to the gym, I go to the gym every day at 8 a.m. Monday to Friday. I've done this today. I've done this yesterday, the day before. I do this fucking every day. And I have a challenge with my friends at the moment where if I don't show up to the gym and they don't show up too, because I have 2-3 friends that are entrepreneurs here and we do this challenge together. If I don't go to the gym and they don't go to the gym as well at 8 a.m., we have to give each other $20. And I had to give $20 one day because I didn't do it because my alarm didn't fucking go on. But even them, once they kind of didn't come because they just snoozed or they slept. So it's a good challenge. When you have accountability like that, like you have to do it, right? So never go more than 72 hours without a new interaction. Go, just do it. Just talk to people. Even if it's just like, you know, a waitress or like a shop attendant or whatever, try to have a conversation every single day. And if not, then every 2-3 days max. Never go more than 72 hours. Now, the pipeline is super easy. Like you're gathering leads from all the systems that I'm showing you in my program. Then you get dates and then you reach intimacy. And then from these intimate relationships, you can choose whether you want to keep them in a rotation where you see them every couple of weeks, or you can just go into a full exclusive relationship if that's your thing. But it depends. But a constant flow of new social interactions and convos is going to create confidence in you because, you know, options creates power. It creates confidence. Like, you know, confidence comes from choice as well. When you have the choice to choose like any girl you want, you have confidence. When your pipeline dries up, your energy gets needy. You probably felt that before in your life. Like you have no girls, you're just swiping, you know, every girl that matches with you, it's like this big event and you need to kind of lock her down for a date because you don't have that as many options. And like you chase too much, right? And when it's flowing and you start choosing instead of performing, that's the real game, like abundance without all the chaos, you know? So aim for at least 2 new conversations per day. Doesn't matter where. Online, cafes, gym, DMs, Instagram, whatever, social circle, events, doesn't matter where. Keep your social muscle active. It's really like a muscle. Like if you don't work out, let's say right now you go to the gym every day and then you don't work out for 3, 4, 5 days. You'll feel it. You'll feel like you're a bit less powerful. Like you'll feel like, shit, there's something missing, you know? So yeah, and get 1 to 2 first dates per week max if you're below 30K a month, unless you're on vacation, because honestly, more than 2 dates per week if you're below 30K a month, that's a bit of a waste of time, I would say, personally, having done, many weeks with like 5+ dates a week. I've had weeks a few years back, a few months back. I'm not gonna lie, these days I don't date more than 2 girls a week, simply because I really want to focus. But back in the day, I've done it where I would go on like 5 dates in a week, almost every day, and it's a bit too much. It's a bit chaotic. You sleep late, you wake up late, like you're not a full-time dater. You're a builder who dates. You want to build your career, you want to build your business, but you also want to date. So there's a fine balance. In everything in life, there's an efficient frontier. Like if you date 5 times a week, that's not efficient anymore. Same thing, if you work out like, 10 times a week, then it's not really that efficient anymore. However, if you work out like 3 to 6 times a week, that's perfect. There's an efficient frontier to things. And quality interactions keep your energy grounded. It's not about chasing, it's about staying in the rhythm. You want to stay in the flow. Momentum is the most powerful thing in the world. Like when you have momentum, things flow so well, whether in business, in fitness, in everything. So now let's talk about point number 4, which is positioning. A lot of guys, when they make money, they start to get into this performance frame. They start performing instead of coming from a place of power. Like most men think that status is about showing off. The louder you try to look high value, you try to show off the cars, the watches, you try to show off the bottles at the club, whatever. They think that the louder you get with that, the more you're valuable, but you're not. Like the loud money energy, the endless flexing, the logo stacking, the constant lifestyle signaling, it doesn't say power. It just says like, please notice me, right? It's not power. It's just like, hidden seeking approval. Like you just basically, it's just a way of seeking approval at the end of the day. And women feel that. They don't see a leader, they see a provider. When they see a guy posing with Lambos like that in Dubai, what do you think most girls think? Do you think most girls are gonna say like, "Oh wow, he has a Lambo. I wanna date him right now"? No, most girls are gonna say like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he has money. Okay, cool. Yeah, if I meet this guy, he's gonna be able to maybe pay for things, and maybe I can take advantage of him." Like it's just a cash cow. It's an ATM. It's just a man trying to buy significance, and women are gonna capitalize out of that need to make these type of guys pay more. If you think that these type of guys are gonna sleep with a girl on the first date, you are delusional. Like most girls are never gonna sleep with a guy like this on the first date, because they know that if they make the guy wait more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dates, that's more dinners that they can stack. That's more experiences that they can extract out of that guy, because that guy is just, seeking validation. And if they don't give him what he wants, then he's gonna keep chasing. So real positioning is quiet. Real status is felt, not sold. And a man who's truly grounded doesn't need to post constant proof of it. Now, yeah, I like brands, I like flexing, I like that as well. Like, of course, I like money, but I do it in subtle ways, There's a way to communicate that in a high status way without being too loud, And you want to know what women find truly attractive and magnetic? A man who's already complete, who enjoys his success without needing anyone to clap for it. That's what they want. Okay, so here's how to apply this. You want to post cool moments, not validation. The more mystery you leave, the more imagination you can control within her. You want to also dress intentional, not expensive. Don't try to buy all those fancy logos with like big brands showing off and stuff. Try to be more like old money. Like you don't show too much. There's not like a lot of logos, but it's still quality, it's still expensive. Like try to think more about the quality of the clothing and how it fits you rather than like, oh, is this going to show that I have money? Like if I buy this Louis Vuitton bag, is this going to show that I have money? No, you don't want to think this way. you want to think like, okay, this suitcase is high quality, there's a lifetime guarantee, it's good, it's nice, it looks good, and it looks baller, okay, I'll get it, you know. But you don't want to just think about how people perceive you and try to come from a validation standpoint. So in conversation, talk like a man who has nothing to prove, okay? And don't try to impress her and give her all your attributes and stuff. Like instead, make the conversation about her and try to kind of interview her. Try to see if she fits your life without proving yourself. That's the thing. You're not the seller, you're the buyer. So this is how my clients, you know, went from not getting a lot of dates to getting dates consistently with some of these frameworks. Now, obviously, there's so much deeper than that inside my programs and inside what I teach. My clients and I, we understand these subtleties at the highest level, you know, and we also have a strong system that generates us dates. Like with the system that I show, I can have dates every single week while I also focus on work. And my clients too. My clients, they have businesses to run, but they still find a bit of time to get at least a date a week. Or depends on their goals. Like some of them want to have a girlfriend after a few weeks. So if you're a busy entrepreneur, I hope this video resonated with you. Or even if you're a professional or a student or a guy who's ambitious, you know, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd like to know your thoughts. And also, yeah, if you're serious about leveling up your dating life and you're watching this, if you've watched this till the end, then that proves that you're that type of guy who's serious about his outcomes. He doesn't want to be average. He wants to understand how to really be in the top 1%. And if that's you, then, you know, my kind of work is perfect for you, because I'm going to show you how to really crush it in your dating life without all that pickup BS that you see online, without running around the mall like a low-value dude and trying to say some cringy lines all the time, without being a fucking dancing monkey at the club, without, you know, trying to reset your Tinder account for the 10th time and trying to fucking, you know, pay for all these dating apps and all of that with no results, and without sacrificing, most importantly, your time and your work and everything else and your fitness. So if you're serious, man, just DM me on Instagram the word date or click the link below. There's a link to book a call with myself or my team. There, I also have a free school community with plenty of value. So check out the links, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.